Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission driven entrepreneurs who understand that there's more to entrepreneurship than finding the latest flash in the pan strategies, who understand that in order to build your empire, you need a solid foundation. I wholeheartedly believe that entrepreneurship is the biggest self development journey you can be on, and it's my mission to help you make that journey easier. In this show, I bring together the very best from science, self development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist and mindset coach behind this show, and you're listening to the Wired for Success podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. Today, it's time for another exciting interview episode, and my guest today is customer engagement coach Melinda Holmes. Welcome, Melinda, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you so much, Claudia. I'm so excited to be here and to just have a great discussion with you. I'm very excited.
Me too. So let's start by talking about your entrepreneurial journey. I understand that you have built some fun and very diverse side hustles over the years, from cake decorating and catering to holistic counseling. So what's up with that, and how did you end up doing what you're doing now?
Right. Well, it all started when I was in middle school. Ever since I was in middle school, I always envisioned having a business when I grew up.
Right.
So that always stuck in the back of my mind, even though I went to college and I just knew I wanted to have my own business. So it just so happened that when I graduated college, that it was the year of my senior year, unfortunately, was the year that September that 9/11 happened.
Mm.
So in the States, you're expecting to be recruited, and so everything changed. So when I graduated, my job experience looking for a job wasn't what I envisioned as a new graduate. So I ended up signing up for a management trainee program for a very large health well, not health, but car insurance company. And they had a great foundation of customer service. So you had to, although I was a management manager trainee, I had to work as hard and start as a customer service rep. I had to learn from the ground
Mm.
up. So having that foundation was very important, and I learned early on that knowing everything from the grassroots is very important. And so I learned about the value of customer service, and that I had to prove what I can do before I can manage others, and show others how to do it. And I always held on to that passion of having my own business. So that's how I just fell in love with cake decorating. I saw it on TV and saw it online, so I took a few courses and I opened up my first business, which was cake decorating. And I was just so excited just thinking about the end result of just having a nice bakery and making beautiful cakes. And of course, it was challenging. It was challenging. It took a lot of time and effort, and you don't see a quick return right away. And it's hard work. You can sometimes
Mm.
work 24 hours without, before the cake is finished. And so I got discouraged, and then just kept my day job. And then moving along, then I got an awareness of taking care of yourself, and just the importance of eating the right foods, and how it helps to prevent complications, and just living a vital life. And so I signed up for a holistic program to become a wellness coach. And so I said, oh, this will be great. I can have a catering business and show people how to eat well and counsel people on how to eat well. So that year that I graduated was the year that we had in the United States, we had a 2008, it was a recession. So I said, okay, another challenge. So I found it very difficult to get clients. I got discouraged, kept my day job. But through the different day jobs that I was really blessed to remain in the industry of customer service and customer care. And every new position I took on, I learned something new and something different. And the last position that I had, I got a position for customer engagement manager.
Mhm.
And that took me to a whole new level of customer service, because it wasn't just providing service and say, hi, thank you, have a great day. Were you satisfied with the service? But it was really learning about the customer, about your clients, and really finding out how you can really provide that engagement and that customer experience.
Right.
So I fell in love with that, because I said, this is really taking your relationship with your clients to a whole new level, and helping to find ways to keep them engaged so that they stay with you and stay as clients, and you just are able to build off of that. So I, keeping that in mind of wanting to own my own business, I was at a crossroads. Like, what should I do? Should I go back to wellness? Should I, what new venture should I do? And I just found that passion as being a customer, and just going to restaurants or going to different places. I said, these small businesses have such great potential. Their food is great, or the events they put together is great, or the products they put out is great. But there's just something missing with really taking their customer service and engagement to a whole nother level that can help their business grow so much faster, and be a great way to stand out with their from their competitors, and really stand out with their customers. So I said, this would be a great way to bring what I learned in a higher level, working with larger businesses, as a consultant, as an employee, and bring it down to small businesses where they can apply these same concepts and create a system that works for them, and doesn't take up time. So I said, this will be a great opportunity. And I said, this is what I've done for the past 20 years. So I just saw that as a passion and a need.
I love that story and your entrepreneurial spirit, and that you didn't let those, say, failures or whatever you want to call them, discourage you. You just kept moving on and never lost that motivation and that spark. And that's really inspiring. Now,
Thank you.
when you look back over all those twists and turns of that entrepreneurial journey so far, what would you say? What successes and failures stand out to you most? So, what are you
Mhm,
especially proud of? And also,
mhm,
maybe what challenges are you still struggling with?
mhm. Right, right. So I would say the lessons that I learned, and what really got me into my business ventures at first was I was mesmerized and just drawn to the end result. And just looking at, oh, I could have my own business and I don't have to work for someone, and I can have my own schedule and go on vacations, and make X amount of money, and not have to work. But I wasn't realistic, to really the work that it takes, especially when you're starting out. So I think that was a challenge that I faced, because I wasn't really realistic, and I didn't. And although I baked delicious, beautiful cakes, and everyone said, "Oh, this is great," and I was able to provide a service, uh, I didn't have a strategy.
Right.
And you're never too it's never too early to create a strategy. Like, as a one man show, you think, oh, I have to wait until I make X amount of dollars, or before I hire someone to help me with X, Y, and Z, whether it's my marketing or my social media. It's never too early to create those strategies and implement those strategies and systems, so that you can focus on the activities that you're really good at and that will generate income.
Right.
So that was a lesson that I learned. And because I didn't learn that early on, I had those challenges of trying to do everything on my own, getting overwhelmed, not doing those income generating activities. And then of course I wasn't making the income I wanted, and I got discouraged. So it was not putting those systems in place. um, but what I can say that I am very proud of is that, although I didn't start a business as early on as I wanted to, and I did have a couple of failures, I learned a lot of, I have a lot of experience,
Mhm.
hands-on, from different industries. So it's insurance, it's coaching and consulting, uh even the food industry, working at a restaurant, and just learning the different aspects of customer service from different perspectives. I'm able to bring so much more to my clients. And it's not just in theory from a course that I took or a book that I read. This is hands-on experience that I'm able to apply to help my clients with their clients and their challenges. And like you said, Claudia, it's not giving up. So
Mhm.
and just learning from my lessons and applying those lessons to just make things better the next time around.
Exactly. I mean, as they say, a failure is only a failure if you don't learn anything from it.
Right,
Otherwise, it's called
exactly.
experience. That's a good.
Right. Exactly.
And apart from, implementing systems early on, is there any other advice that you would give your younger self if you had to start all over again?
That's a good one, Claudia. What would I tell my younger self? I think what I would tell my younger self is that you can't be afraid to invest
Hmm.
in yourself and in your business. And I think even selling cakes and then going on to wellness coaching, I always thought I could start a business without investing, like just take whatever I learned and just really just grow everything holistically.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may have to take some money out, but it's worth it in the long run, because making and not just anything, because there's just so many things out there, like, hey, invest in this and you'll get that, and you'll boom to six figures, and you'll leave your day job tomorrow. And everything is still a process, everything still takes time, but you do have to make strategic choices and insightful choices. Do your research and make sure that when you're investing in a program or someone to help you, a coach, that it's someone that's a good match and is going to get you to the goals that you're looking for. But you do have to make that investment if you want to grow at a faster rate, because if not, it can take, like me, 5-10 years trial and error, pain and time and suffering and disappointment, trying to figure it out on your own, where there's a lot of resources and help from experts. Even like with customer service, a lot of people may say, oh, I know customer service, you just say thank you and you're polite, but there are different aspects to customer service. Getting to know your clients on a deeper level, getting feedback from them on a consistent level, and figuring out what you can do to provide a great experience. So it does take technique and strategy and a great system to make it easy, where it doesn't take up time or mess up your business flow. But you do have to invest in yourself and in your business. It's very and it's very important if you want to scale at a faster rate.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it's the thing is we don't know what we don't know, right? And that's where we have to make this choice about. I mean, everything we do requires an investment. It could be money, it could be time, it could be energy, it could be all three of them.
Right.
So at some point, we just have to decide which investment we want to make in ourselves, or how do we want to invest in ourselves and into our business. Do
Right.
we want to take the slow road and learn or DIY everything, or do we want to
Right.
pay someone and just get there faster? It's always this exchange of money, time, and energy that we have to think about. And most people just see the
Right.
money aspect of it. They don't think of it in
Ex-
terms of the time they spend learning how to do something, or the energy it just takes to learn all the new things
Mhm.
and then implement them. So I
Right.
think that's definitely something everyone should be more aware of.
Exactly.
Now, as a coach, you focus on customer service and engagement, which, to be honest, not that many people talk about. Far too often, it's all about marketing and sales. That's sexy, and few people actually talk about improving the customer experience. But personally, I think that the customer experience is super important. After all, I don't want them to have a bad experience, right? I want them to have a great experience. I don't want them to feel confused because they don't know what's going to happen next, or feel that I stopped caring about them as soon as they sent over the money. Because I've been in a program where I had this exact same experience. So we had this great conversation up until the point where I joined her program. And after that, the conversation completely stopped. And the next time
Mhm.
she cared to send me a message was to ask me to renew the contract. And to me, this is an example of a really bad customer experience. And it's something
Mhm.
that I want to avoid in my own business.
So tell us, why do you think it's important to pay more attention to how we design this customer journey and customer
Hmm.
experience?
Right, right. Well, just to start off, just looking at the whole process, especially if you have a service business. If you sit down right now and take out a sheet of paper and pen and you calculate the time that it takes to get a new client, and then you calculate the money that you spend on marketing, ads, campaigns, even if you pay for a speaking event to get exposure, the amount of money that it takes to get a client and the time, your client is your investment. And you're providing something as far as a service, whatever service it may be, whether it's coaching or consulting, or you're helping them lose weight, whatever it may be. You're providing a service to solve a problem for them. So you want to make sure that that experience for them is seamless, because you're there to help them, not to add on to add any stress or or dissatisfaction. So it's important, being that this is your investment. With anything that you invest in a home, you take care of the home. You invest in anything. It's in stocks, you make sure you monitor your stocks, because you want to make sure that your investment is growing. And by doing that, by investing in our clients, we're adding value to them. And that's pretty much what customer service is. Customer service and a customer experience is adding value to your clients. What can I do to create that experience where they're like, wow, this is great. I don't even have, they're like, I don't even have to worry. And
Mhm.
like you said, Claudia, it's from the experience, even before they sign up with you, for whatever service you provide, all the way up into the end. There has to be involvement, and that is all part of the customer experience, and making sure that you have a seamless process for them, that is consistent, is important, because you want to make sure that they're satisfied with this service, because at the end of that service you want them to renew with you. You don't just want to service them for that 6 month or that 1 year. You've invested so much time in this is your investment. You want them to renew, or you want to be able to offer them something else, because you want to create a community. So customer experience is very important, because you want your customers to be happy and have that great reputation. But it's also, you want to create a lifetime client, because it takes so much time in talking about life, uh, work and life balance.
Mhm.
If you can increase your revenue, or even, let's say you're okay, let's say you're making 200,000 a year, and you're like, I'm great where I am, but what if you can work less hours, because you're renewing more clients, instead of always working on getting new clients to maintain that same income? Or if you want to take your income to the next level, where you're making, let's say, 80,000, and you want to now make 150, you can implement these systems to provide better customer service and customer care for their experience when they're working with you, so that you can then renew them every year. You don't have to worry about marketing to get that new client, because they're renewing with you every year. They have that relationship with you. It's like a beautician. You go and you get your hair done. You don't go to one person 1 week and go to another person another week. If that beautician or that barber makes you look beautiful, and you get compliments and you love their style, they're always on time, you don't have to wait 2 hours to see them, you're going to continue to go to that same beautician or that same barber. You're not going to look for a new beautician. So you want your clients to have that relationship with you, where they're always going to come to you to help them with whatever problem you're solving for them. And by doing that with customer service, helps bridge that gap. And even referrals. You
Yeah.
provide great customer service, word of mouth. A lot of uh, people will say word of mouth is a lot of times the best marketing tool.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
all can think of a situation where we purchased something or signed up for a program because a friend or someone we know and trust dearly said, I signed up for this, or I purchased this and this was great. So
Yeah.
word of mouth is great, and you can get great testimonies when you provide great service. So it's just so many different aspects that you cover to help grow your business and have your clients have a great experience, which is the main purpose, by just creating a system that works.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
such a
Hmm.
win-win situation. you increase this customer lifetime value, or whatever you want to call that. And you also add value to that customer experience. So everyone wins, and that's a good thing.
Right, exactly.
And after hearing this, some people might think, oh, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. But how do I figure out what my customers really need and want?
Hmm.
So, what tips do you have for those people? How should they start designing a good customer journey?
Hmm. Absolutely. Well, I always say the first thing is to ask. I
Mm,
had a manager and I was providing a program for, at the time when I was working for my customer service reps for a customer service team that I was managing. And I said, well, I don't know what I should put together. And she looked at me and said, just ask. And I said, oh, yeah. So I would say putting together a strategic survey, or it could be a survey just to ask your current clients that you're working with, or even people that are in your ideal clients that you want to ask their feedback, and find out what their needs, their wants, their pain points are, so that you can really make sure that you're providing service that's relevant for them,
yeah.
that they really see the value in, and they want to continue or sign up because this is what their wants and needs are. And you do have to check in with that regularly, because it can change, because as you know, unfortunately, we're going through COVID, the challenges of COVID. So what clients needed 3 years ago is different from now, and it's going to change next year. So you always need to get constant feedback from clients and potential clients, to make sure that you're providing what they need. And and you could do that by just sending a simple email, even the old fashioned way, picking up the phone and
Mm,
having a conversation, or putting together like a strategic survey that's going to get you the information you need. And as far as the process for your clients, you want to make sure that even during the time that you're not seeing your clients for a session or course, that there's
mm,
there's check-ins in between, because you don't want to wait until the course is over or the program is over to then get tons of feedback, and then it's too late.
yeah.
So you want to create a welcoming environment, because some people may be intimidated and don't want to complain, and they keep it to themselves. So you want to create an environment that works for your clients, that they feel uh, they feel encouraged and motivated to give feedback. So that is so important. That way you can check in from time to time and make sure that they are satisfied. Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. Can we maybe go a little bit into a little more detail about creating a great onboarding and offboarding sequence? Because I think that is something that's so important, to welcome people, as you said, to welcome people into your program so they
Mhm.
don't feel lost. And also
Mhm.
at the end, how to maybe transition them to your next program or
Mhm.
another offer. So, what should we pay special attention to when we design
Mhm.
this process?
Right, right. Well, I would say the first step, what I do with my clients is I send them a getting to know you form. So as soon as everything with the technicalities of the payment and the agreement, they get a get to know you form. And that can be different based on what type of service you provide. So just asking them questions about what their goals are, how much time they usually spend uh, working, like just to get to know whatever it is that you would like to know, to personalize the service, even contacting, like what is the best way you
Mhm.
prefer to be contacted, because some people may not check their emails, some people may prefer a text message, or so you want to make sure that you're customizing this experience for your client based on what they want. And that getting to know you, you can call it whatever you want,
Yeah.
will just be a great way to really get to know your client, and not wait until like, oh, 3 months, oh, I never checked my emails, oh, I didn't know that. So you just figure out, and by asking them, you'll know these things early on, as far as the first step. So that really helps. And then from there, it's pretty much from that getting to know you, then you will know, like, okay, this is how I can customize it, and they feel like I'm personalizing it for them. And then it's even getting uh feedback as far as just keeping notes and tracking, because it's all about tracking and
Mhm.
keeping great notes. Because You want to track what their weaknesses may be, what their issues are, so that when you're not going to remember what you spoke about during that first session, but then when you go towards the last session, then you have notes for what you spoke about 2 months ago or 3 months ago. And then that way you could say, well, I know we still are facing challenges with XYZ. Let's I would love to work with you on that.
Mm.
And then you can then shape a program, a next level program for them to
Yeah.
to help them. So I think documenting is very important, and getting that interim feedback
Right.
is very important to doing that. And then even setting a little like a little trinket, I call it like a little golden nugget, something that works for your client that they will love. For example,
Mhm.
like a and a lot of clients like a weekly kind of newsletter that's only sent to your clients, that
Mhm.
has like a featured podcast or something that that will help them in between sessions, because you want them to feel like you are there with them in between sessions.
Exactly.
So and it could be something different. It could be a physical welcome package, especially now that everything is virtual. Sometimes it's nice getting something in the mail.
True.
So creating like a little welcome package, because we get so many things, digital downloads, just giving a personal touch. And it doesn't even have to be as fancy as a package. It could be just a little packet or a welcome card, or just something creative. It doesn't have to be expensive, but just something personal that they can physically
Mm.
touch helps to personalize that. And those things will stick, so that when it comes to renewing, they will be so impressed by that service. Already know, like, I need Claudia
Yeah.
for my to stay with me. I don't know what I would do without Claudia. I love the work that we do, and the time it would take. I wouldn't even think about trying to find someone else, because what she's providing is working. So that process, the communication, finding a few key factors that will just keep them involved
Mhm.
and engaged during this session. Not just It's not just that one-on-one session, but keeping them engaged in between, because a lot can go on between those 2 weeks or
Mm.
that 1 week. So you want to keep them engaged during that time and get constant feedback. So I think that's key.
Yeah, I love that. And I really try to incorporate those things that you just mentioned, because for me, I don't want to provide these cookie cutter solutions. What I do is like really high level customized coaching. So I want people to know that I tailor the experience exactly to their needs. So
Right.
we do the assessment in the beginning, and the check-ins, and everything is just really tailored to their needs. And I think that's something that's missing in a lot of or in the coaching industry at the moment. There's so much cookie cutter group programs, or there's nothing wrong with group programs, but
Mhm.
sometimes when you want this big personal breakthrough and you want it in a short period of time, so you just need to work one-on-one, because it's not possible to create these kinds of transformations in that group setting. You just need the one-on-one time. So that's where I feel that we really have to provide this customized experience. And because for that transformation to happen, you need a connection. You need a real deep connection with
Mhm.
someone for them to feel comfortable enough to really open up and talk about the things that they wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable talking about in a group setting where they don't know the people.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
that's why I think that's so important. And you already mentioned a little welcoming package and something like that. But apart from maybe this well-designed on and offboarding process, is there anything else that we can do to create this wow factor that makes people want to continue working with us?
Mhm. Right. Well, it all depends, because like you say, there's no one size fits all. So it's getting that feedback from your clients, and it can be done through surveys.
Mhm.
I would say, or not even a survey, it can just be a questionnaire
Yeah.
to check in with them, because when they come in, we have that before and after concept. So there should be progress
Yeah.
working with them working with your clients through the program. So there should be progress. So I would suggest looking into having them sign up. I would suggest having a really detailed, really well thought out questionnaire,
Mhm.
or even a 15-minute chat. Like you say, just having a conversation, because I think we're so, into technology, and I'm going to send this out. And that's why I said, like, when you're trying to get feedback, you can just pick up the phone and have a conversation. So just scheduling a time and say, this is not part of your session. I just want to have a conversation with you. And they're like, wow, I'm going to have a conversation. This is like, it's like kind of like a bonus to the program, because most programs you say, oh, you get 8 sessions, you get 10 sessions. So just to have a 15-minute session to have a conversation. And like you said, that way we can just let their guard down. We're not talking about your goals, we're not talking about your business. We're just having a conversation with you. And having a conversation is great. It's like you're talking with someone at dinner. And just having an informal conversation, you will get so much information.
Yeah.
And I would say do that like maybe a month before the session, the program is going to end, or 2 weeks. Like, you could find that sweet spot where you feel they've made enough progress where you could see, okay, where are there still gaps, where do they still have needs.
Mhm.
And then I would also suggest having like a bonus, so to speak, like a bonus check-in session. Like, oh, well, we're finishing. Congratulations. You've done great, Claudia. You completed the program. You made so much progress. I just would like to have a 30-minute uh, follow-up session with you, just so we could talk about where you were and where you are now, and just discuss that. And then they're going to say, oh, great, this is a great bonus session. And that will be, in essence, like that session to
Mhm.
then talk about continuing to work with them.
I like that.
So it's like they see it as a bonus, which it is a bonus,
Yeah,
because you will give some tips and insight. You say, if we continue to work together, I can help you get to A, B, and C.
exactly. Find the gaps that are still there and building a
Right.
bridge
Right,
makes it
right,
better.
right. And I believe a phone conversation, a Zoom conversation is so much more effective than email or sending a questionnaire. Like, the questionnaires are good for like check-ins, but if you're really looking to renew, having that conversation would really help. Those two, that midway or almost there check-in phone conversation, and then that last follow-up bonus session, surprise bonus session, would be a great way to transition them to continue to work with you.
Yeah, I agree
Hmm.
about the conversation, about actually having a conversation, because if I can see the other person, even if it's just
Hmm.
through Zoom, I can see how they react. I can see their energy. I
Right.
can see their attitude. I can see their mood. I can feel their mood. So
Right.
it's so much that gets lost in when they just fill in a questionnaire, so much that you don't see,
Hmm.
but that you can still pick up on in a conversation. So I think that gives you so much more information, and I really like that.
Right. Right.
So, Melinda, to make things a little more fun, I'm bringing the this or that game back today.
Oh, a game. I love games.
Yeah, and it's super simple. So I'm just going to give you two options, and you quickly choose whichever option you prefer. But if you can't decide, no worries, you are allowed to choose both. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm curious to know what this game is about.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Money or free time?
Oh, I would say both. I'm allowed to say
Good one.
both, right?
Yes, you are. Good
You need money to enjoy your free time.
choice. True.
Sometimes, not sometimes. There's a lot of free activities. Yes.
Book or podcast?
Hmm. I would say lately's podcast.
Same here, yeah. Night owl or early bird?
I've been in two worlds, but now I'm an early bird.
DIY or hiring an expert?
Hiring an expert.
All right. And just one more, being an employee or being an entrepreneur. And I'm pretty sure I know what this one's going
Right.
to be.
Definitely being an entrepreneur. Yes.
Awesome. So last but not least, where can our listeners find you online if they want to connect or work with you?
Right, right. Well, as we talked about today, I know a lot of things I've talked about sounds like, oh, doing all of those things are just going to add on to my day. It's going to make things more complicated. If I have a team, my team is going to say, why are we adding extra work to our plate? But the good news is, with all of the suggestions that I gave you, I have a system that makes it seamless, where it doesn't add to your day. It actually makes your day easier and your flow better, and your clients have more of a consistent experience across the board. And I call that the secret gold mine. And because I help my clients to be able to determine how much they're leaving on the table, how much money they're losing by not implementing these systems to provide better customer care and customer engagement, and implementing these systems where it's automated and there's a strategy behind it. So that way you're not overwhelmed and it's not adding to your plate. It's actually solving the problem of adding more time to your day and growing your business and making that investment in your clients and seeing that return. So what I have is, if you're interested, if you're in the DIY mode, I have a gift where you can download a calculator that I have, so you can calculate based on your clientele how much money estimated you're leaving on the table by not implementing a customer experience system that I provide.
That's
But if so it's above the lead /gift, and you can go there and download. But if you, like Claudia and I were speaking about, if you want to have a conversation with me, I love to have conversations. I love to talk. I will sit down with you so you don't have to calculate it yourself and plug in the numbers. And I will work with you to show you how much you're leaving on the table that a lot of successful businesses are missing today, and how much you can gain by just implementing these systems. And I will provide, based on your specific business, I will provide one suggestion that you can start implementing, that you can start putting those systems into place to help with that customer experience for your clients. And that's above the lead /the gold mine. And it's called the secret gold mine. And if you would like to have a 30-minute complimentary session with me, that is my gift to you for being a podcast listener with Claudia.
Hey, thank you.
So if you're interested in having a conversation, I would love to speak with you, and I can help you determine how much you're losing and how you can start getting that money that you're leaving on the table with your income. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melinda, for all those tips and insights. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure our listeners feel the same way.
Well, I'm so happy that you had me, Claudia. I really enjoyed this time with you and sharing and getting insight from you. You gave some great insight as well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So take care and talk to you soon.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show. It would mean the world to me, because you'd help me reach more entrepreneurs like yourself who would love this show. If you'd like to learn more about creating a widely successful business without sacrificing your health, relationships, or sanity, make sure to stick around and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why don't you help me spread the word and share this show with your friends? I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure your friends will too. Want to continue this conversation, build real relationships, and join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs? Come join my free Facebook community for visionary entrepreneurs. I would love to see you there. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, grab my free brain priming audio file for entrepreneurs and start priming your brain for success in less than 5 minutes each morning. Curious? You can learn more about how this works and download the audio file at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions. Until next time, bye!